In this video, we will learn how to manipulate or change the data that we already have in a cell. And we will also understand the types of data that we have in Excel. So this is where we left off in the last video. We have this file saved named Excel Basics. We will double click on it to open it. We have some data in the cells B2 to C4 in this worksheet. If you select cell B2 and start typing now, it will clear the cell first and enter the new input you have given. So if I start writing columns again, you can see that I have to type it again completely. But what if I just wanted to edit some part of the text without clearing the content? For example, I want to write number of columns instead of just columns. How to do that? For that, we double click on this cell. Now this cell is in edit mode. You can click wherever you want to edit, that is add or remove text. You will see this blinking cursor there. Now you can type the new text, number of, and hit enter. Your cell is updated now. Another way of editing content is to select that cell and editing it in the formula bar. So if I want to remove this number of part, I can just select that and press backspace or delete key. Now if you want to clear a cell, that is, if you want to delete the contents of the cell, you can select the cell and press backspace or the delete key of your keyboard. You can see that the content of that cell is cleared. Now you can enter new text if you want to. So here's a quick recap. To replace text in a cell, click that cell and type the new text. To edit a text, double click on that cell and then type. To clear the text, click on that cell and press delete or backspace. This is how we change existing data in cells. Okay. Now we are going to discuss types of data we enter into cells. Basically, the data is only three types. One is textual, which consists of alphabets, such as the cell B2, which contains the text columns. The second type is numeric, which consists of numbers, such as the cell C2, which contains this numeric value of 16,384. And the third type is formula, such as the cell C4, in which we have written the formula is equal to C2 into C3. But within numeric type of data, there are more types of formats. In the Home tab, in the drop down here, you can see various other formats. By default, it will be at General. If you select number, it will become numeric with 2 decimal points. If you select currency, it will add a currency symbol such as this dollar or rupee symbol and a comma at appropriate positions. There are various other formats also, but one of the most important format is the date format. We need to understand a concept here. Excel treats date and time as a special type of numeric value. The earliest date that Excel understands is January 1st, 1900. This date is taken as number 1. To illustrate, let's enter 1 in this cell. Now let's select long date format in the drop down. You can see number 1 is converted into this date 1st January 1900, which is the first date for Excel. If you enter number 2, that will be converted to January 2, 1900. And this series goes on. We do not need to concern ourselves with the numeric date format though. If you enter 2nd June in this cell and press enter, Excel understands that it is a date and handles it accordingly. We understood that concept that dates are handled as a numeric value because sometimes when you open someone else's Excel file, you may find that there are numbers in the date column. Now you would know that you just need to select the number and change the format to date type. Same goes with the time format. Apart from that, when you have textual data in a column, say in the B column we have textual data. Now if we start typing new text in this column, Excel will auto recommend textual values basis other values in that column. So since the last value in this column is cells, if you type C, Excel will recommend that you can enter cells here. If you accept this change, you can press enter and this cell will have the value cells. If you do not want to use that value, you can just continue typing whatever you want to type. And another thing about numerical values, so when we converted that number which was in general format to a number format, we saw that there were 2 digits added after a decimal point. If you want to remove these digits or if you want to increase the number of digits after the decimal point, you can click these 2 options. The first option increases the number of digits after the decimal point, and the second option reduces the number of digits after the decimal point. So if we have value of pi in this cell as 3.14159 and you think that these are too many digits for most of your calculations, you just need to look at only 2 decimal digits, you can go and click on this option to reduce the number of digits that are visible to you. You can see in the formula bar the original value is retained, but in the cell you will see only the number of digits which you have specified. With this we conclude this lecture.